But anyways, I'll get going. So yeah, so I get a lot of questions about my videos. Most people actually reach out to me and say, hey, how do you make those videos? How do you do the technical part of it? What software do you use? Um, do you have an editor? All that stuff. I can't answer all those questions. I do. So feel free to reach out to me if you have those questions. But when everyone is asking me those questions, I'm actually thinking that's actually the easy part. So the hard part is like, number one, how do you get on video? And then how do you create a video that somebody's going to actually want to watch? So I wanted to do my first live. And so I thought the best way to do that would be to go ahead and write a script live. So let's go ahead and jump in. So I have a template that I follow. I took a boot camp, a video boot camp from Shay Rowbottom, and this is a template. She provided a template. It looks much like this, although I've kind of gone through and changed it over time to fit what I'm doing. And so I'm just going to go ahead and use that. Yeah, so again, the first thing that I think about is like, what do I want someone to get out of this video when they walk away, so that they're like, wow, I'm really glad that I watched that video. So in this case, I'm going to write a script on how to write a script for making good videos. So the first thing I'm going to think about is like, it's like I want the person to say, man, I'm really glad I watched this video. Now that I have watched this, I know that I should really have a script before I start. Otherwise, I might not have a clear message and people will not like it. So this isn't something that's actually going to be in the script, but you're just trying to like make sure that you understand like why you're doing this and like what's the value. And so then you think, see, now that I know the script should probably be less than 60 seconds, and I have a specific checklist to go through, I can write much more effective videos. And people will reach out to work with me or something like that. So I'm really trying to dial in here what the purpose is, right? So then I might, now that I'm clear on why I'm doing this, now I'm going to go into and kind of start thinking about the title. With the title, I'm trying to grab attention, right? So I actually have a checklist down here. And this is a little bit dramatic, but is the title bar polarizing? Will it split the audience in half? And what I'm really trying to get across there is like, you want to create a title that's going to make someone react so that they'll stop and listen. I'm not saying necessarily create a controversy, but you want to put something in there that's going to get someone to stop. So in this case, we're trying to write a video on how to do one more effectively, right? So we're trying to write a script that's going to get someone to pay attention. So what I might do here is say, you can kind of take two approaches here. You can say how to write an amazing video. So that's a potential option. The trick here is that sometimes people actually react better or respond better to something that's in the negative. So you could also come across like why your videos don't work, right? So your title, you can either take one of two approaches. You're either saying, how do you do something, or you're basically saying, why this doesn't work at all, right? And so that's kind of what I'm getting at here is the title bar polarizing? Are you grabbing the person's attention with the title? And then, if you have a lower bar, you know, a lot of the videos, they've got an upper bar and a lower bar. If you're going to do that, you know, you can have the option of kind of planning out what that lower bar is going to be. And then you've got your opener. So this is going to be where you first start talking. And I recommend not necessarily introducing yourself. You know, the video's right there. People can see your name. I personally go right into what I'm trying to talk about because, you know, that's why people are stopping. They're not really, they don't really, usually they don't care about the weather. So, you know, I try to come up with a strong opener. What's the first thing that I'm going to say? And so I might say, right? So I might say the reason why your videos don't work is because they are all over the place and they don't provide any concrete value. Or I might, and then I kind of move along right there. So then I say, or maybe your message isn't clear and people just scroll on, right? So I'm trying to establish what the problem is. And so that's kind of what I'm doing here. Is my opener impactful? Will it keep them around for the whole video? Because that opener is important. Because if you just kind of start saying, yeah, hey, my name's Steve Pope. The weather outside, you know, it's kind of warm. You know, that people are just like, hey, get to the point. Like I'm not here to see you. So, you know, is the opener impactful? Will it keep them around? And that's what you really want to get into really quickly here. Then the next thing is like, there's a couple other questions here too. Like, are you positioned as an expert? Did I show any empathy? Right. So it's like, you might want to say something that kind of lets you be relatable to the audience, and also something that positions you as the expert. So, you know, you could say something like, when I did my first video, it was really hard, but now that I've been doing them for 6 months and I use a script, I'm really comfortable and actually enjoy it. So in this statement here, you know, I've kind of positioned myself as an expert because I've been doing it for 6 months. You can consider that an expert or not. And I'm showing a little empathy because I'm relating to people, because it is hard. You know, it's hard to get on video. It's hard to record a video. It's hard to get on LinkedIn Live. So, you know, it's good to put that out there so that people are like, yeah, this guy, I can relate to this guy. Now, just as a note, the way I do my videos is I'll read these, you know, I'll read these out loud, line by line, and then I'll cut the video up. So these are starting to get kind of long. So at the end of the video, or at the end of, when I'm done writing this, I'll probably end up going back and scaling this down, trying to condense it. I probably won't do that on the call today or on this live today, just because it can take a little bit of time. But it's important to keep these lines fairly short so that you can actually, you know, recite them and memorize them fairly quickly. So here we go. So, you know, the reason why your videos don't work is because they're all over the place and they don't provide any concrete value. Or maybe your message isn't clear and people just scroll on. When I did my first video, it was really hard. But now that I've been doing them for 6 months and I use a script, I'm really comfortable and actually enjoy it. So then you kind of want to get into like, what is it that you're going to provide for them? So in this script, I'm going to talk about this stuff. So, you know, to make a video that is really impactful, you need, you know, 3 essential things. I think you kind of need more than that, but just for the practice of this, let's just go for that. So 1, to start, it shouldn't be too long. People that don't know you won't likely stick around for long, right? Try and make your videos less than 60 seconds, right? Okay. And then 2, you need to show some empathy and authority that so that the person watching can relate to you and also trust you. So that's kind of what we did up here again, right? So we said, and when I did my first video, it was really hard, but now that I've been doing them for 6 months and I use a script, I'm really comfortable and actually enjoy it. So let's keep going. So now as I go here, I'm checking these boxes, right? So did I show empathy? And that's what I did here. I actually have someone else check this out for me. So I let them do that so that I'm getting a reality check on this. But, this is something that I could say, yes, I got the empathy in there. And did I position myself as the expert? Yes. And was the title polarizing? You might say so. And was my opener impactful? So let's go back up here. The reason your videos don't work is because they're all over the place and they don't provide any concrete value. So if that's you and you feel that, then that's probably the case. So this is a strong opener. So you can see what I'm doing here is I got a script that I'm following that reminds me of all the things that need to be in a good video. So I'll go ahead and say yes here. So 2, you need to show some empathy and authority so the people watching can relate to you and also trust you. And then 3, you need to provide a clear action to take. I'm going to change this just because I'm realizing I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to provide the full picture unless I provide a few more things. So instead of saying 3, I'm just going to say you need a few things, a few essential things. Right? So first we say try to make your videos less than 60 seconds. 2, you need to show some empathy and authority so that the people watching can relate to you and also trust you. And then 3, you need to provide a clear action to take so the person can improve, right? And so that's kind of what I'm doing in this video here. Like I'm showing you how do you write a script that's going to make your videos more impactful. And I'm giving you like very specific steps to do that. Clear actions so the person can improve. Right? So now I can say, that, yeah, I'm giving them clear action. And then explain how that action will actually help them achieve success. So if you take these actions and use them to, and you can get more specific too. It's like if you take these actions and create a script, you'll be able to improve your videos and make engaging content that people will like, value, and even share. So now I'm basically saying, hey, if you take these 3 steps, this is what's going to happen, right? So you're gonna make engaging content that people will like, value, and even share. And then So I said, well, if you did I show empathy? Yes. Did I give clear action to take? Did I explain how the action will help them achieve success? Yes. And then the next one is, did I explain how not taking action will end in failure? Right? These are all kind of like done dramatically, but I think it's important to think that way, right? Because you want to pull things as far as you can, so that you're remembering why you're doing this, right? So if you don't write a script, then you'll always so what will happen if you don't have a script? You'll always be a little scattered. Your points won't be clear, and it's likely people won't walk away thinking they got any value from watching. Something along those lines. So, did I explain how not taking action will end in failure? Yes. Did I include the literal? Yeah. So this is an important one. So did I include the literal and emotional pain points? In this point, we're trying to address the fact that people are trying to make video to get business or to draw attraction to something, and so it's good in your video to address that a little bit. So you kind of have to think a little bit about, like, where do you put that in, right? So did I include the literal and emotional pain? So you could do something like, you always have to come back at the end and kind of make sure this all flows really nice. But, you could say something, I know you want to make video that drives in new business, but it's actually not. You might want to put this at the end. You have to play around with some of this stuff, but let me just finish my thought here. I know you want to make a video that drives a new business, but it's frustrating when you try and the video isn't good and no one engages with it. So I know you want to make a good video that drives a new business, but it's frustrating. I know you want to make a good video that drives a new business, and the video isn't good, and it's frustrating when you try it and the video isn't good and no one engages with it, right? So you're addressing the real pain and kind of the emotional part. It's like they want to get business, which is like the literal part, and also the emotional part, right? So we've got that in there. And then, is it funny, inspirational, or entertaining? But if you're a funny person, or if with some of the entrepreneurial type videos, you can make them a little more inspirational or a little bit more entertaining. What's going on, Leon? All right, so I know that the comments work now. Cool. Appreciate you making a comment there. All right. I was wondering if they worked. Well, that's cool, man, because I know you were looking at doing this. So yeah, we're just creating a script live. So let's see. Let's go back on so this is an important one. So what I've kind of found is that in order to make it 60 seconds, it's got to be like 10 to 15 lines. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This might be 60 seconds. Although most of the time I try to make these like almost 1 or 2 lines. So in reality, this is probably many more lines. This is probably going to be over 60 seconds. So it probably needs to be cut down a little bit. But let's just make sure I checked all these other boxes. Was it funny, inspirational, or entertaining? I don't know. Maybe a little inspirational, because I'm saying, hey, you can really make great videos. So if you take these actions and create a script, you'll be able to improve your videos and make engaging content that people will like, value, and even share. If you don't write a script, then you'll always be a little scattered, your points won't be clear, and it's likely people won't walk away thinking they got any value from watching. All right, so check that off. We're just going to put question mark. And will the viewer walk away and say, dang, I'm glad I watched this? So I actually have someone else do this checklist for me. You know, like when I read this now, I kind of say no, but that's because I've been doing this for a while. But for someone that hasn't gone on camera yet, and they're wondering how do they put a script together, you know, I'd say, yeah, they probably would. They'd say, thanks for doing this, man. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And then is my video 15 lines? So here's where I would go back and really try to tighten this up. And I also didn't have a call to action. So if this is something that you want to do, it's like, you could say, if you have problems with video, go ahead and let me know in the comments or send me a DM. I'd love to help. Right? And then I have a place in here for hashtags just so I don't forget, because it's easy to forget once you post this. And then also, just so you know, like taking this script is also good for the captions, right? So you can just take these and put it in there. So I'll go through here lightly and just update this so that it's, you know, you want this to be as tight as possible. And there's usually a lot of fluff. So the reason your videos don't work is because they're all over the place and don't provide any concrete value. Or maybe your message isn't clear and people just scroll on. I know you want to make a good video that drives new business, but it's frustrating when you try and you know the video isn't good and no one engages with it. That is kind of a bummer. That happens to me all the time. When I did my first video, it was really hard, but now that I've been doing them for 6 months and I use a script, I'm really comfortable and actually enjoy it. To make a video that is really impactful, you need a few essential things. One, to start, it shouldn't be too long. People that don't know you won't likely stick around for long. Try to make your videos less than 60 seconds. Two, you need to show some empathy and authority so that people watching can relate to you and also trust you. So you got to try to make these smooth. I think these are a little clunky, just doing like 1, 2, 3. You know, sometimes you don't need to call that out. You can just kind of go through it. You'll have to just kind of play with that a little bit. And then 3, you need to provide clear action to take so the person can improve. And also, this is really another line. And also what happens if they don't take action, right? And that's what I did right here. It's like, if you take these actions and create a script, you'll be able to improve your videos and make engaging content that people will like, value, and even share. If you don't write a script, then you'll always be a little scattered, your points won't be clear, and it's likely people won't walk away thinking they got any value from watching it. So, I don't know, that's pretty clear, right? So we started with the value, which was this was the bedrock of the script. And then we got the title, a strong opener. We hit various points along the way and some clear action to take. What happens if you take those actions, and what happens if you don't take those actions? And then a call to action if that's something that you want to do. So I don't know for sure whether this is 60 seconds or not. It's probably a little bit longer, but I don't want to sweat the details. You definitely want to go through here and take out every word that you don't need and be as clear and concise. Usually when I write something like this, I can come back in and reduce 25% of it just by, with a lot of detail, just going through here and taking out all the words that don't matter, stuff like that. And then, so don't really know. Did I have a call to action? Yes. And so the person that I usually have reviewing this will rate the video for me. So I kind of have an idea of, they rate my videos every time. So I kind of have just a third person or a second person, whatever you want to say, just kind of give me some guidance on where this video compares to the others that they've viewed. So that's it.